Hey guys, so I'm going to actually be doing the experiments and you're going to be filling out the chart for today and then turning that in. So this is what the chart looks like. Let me see. Only it is on it's on a Google Doc and not a PDF. So this is your assignment for Tuesday. I'm going to be doing the experiment and explaining it, and then you're going to be filling in the boxes as I go along. Okay, so I would suggest you split screen it so that it helps you, you can do both at the same time. So the only one we are not going to be doing sodium carbonate, which is the third one, because I don't have it. I do have calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and citric acid. I just don't have sodium carbonate. So you can cross that one out or put NA or put don't do or whatever. You're not going to do that third column. Okay, so first we have to observe the different things that we are going to be mixing. So the first thing is, I believe it was calcium chloride. Yep, calcium chloride. I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Oops. So calcium chloride, you can see they're white, they're powdery. This should all go in that first box where it says observations. Physical properties, and underneath the name. So underneath calcium chloride, you should write it's white. It's powdery. They're in little balls. That's about it. Powdery white balls shaped. Okay, so then we're going to do observation mixing with water, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll tell you what I'm feeling and seeing and smelling. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is mix this with a little bit of water. Okay, so we're going to mix. So you can see it is bubbling. You can kind of hear it. It's bubbling, so mix it some more. Ooh, there's a temperature change. It's getting really hot. The crystals are dissolving. You can see that there's not a lot, they're dissolving. There is a slight color change. It's no longer just clear water. It's a little bit cloudy gray colored. It is really hot. Not quite a smell to it. It kind of just smells like the calcium chloride. So in that second box, you're going to say color change, heat, dissolving crystals. So there you go. Okay, so we're going to move on into the calcium chloride and vinegar. So it's the next one over. So this is still calcium chloride, but now we're mixing it with vinegar instead of water. So it's going to mix and mix and mix and mix here. There is a temperature increase. It is getting warm. The crystals are dissolving. It's not as hot as the other one, but it is still warm. And you can kind of see it's no longer, it's kind of like a yellowish, pale yellow color. It's not like a big color change, but it is a slight yellow color. Okay, so for that third box, a slight temperature increase, the crystals are dissolving, and a little bit of a yellow color. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is magnesium sulfate. So this is the second row, and you're going to be under physical properties because we're going to look at what this looks like. Okay. So this one is also white. This one looks more like sugar crystals. That's what I would say. White sugar crystals. That's what I would say. Okay, so we're going to mix this with water. So now we're on the second box next to magnesium sulfate. Okay, so it got colder. It got much colder. So we're just gonna keep mixing. The crystals are dissolving. Not much of a color change. Still looks pretty like water. Just gonna mix a little bit more because it looks a lot clearer in person than it does on the camera. So only thing that I'm observing here is that it got much colder and the crystals dissolved, but it still looks like water. There's no color change. All that happened was that the temperature decreased and the crystals dissolved. Okay, so now we're going to mix the same thing, only with vinegar, and see what happens. Okay. So let's just mix it. It's getting a little colder as I'm mixing. The crystals are dissolving. I'm not seeing much of a color change yet. It looks a little yellow compared to the clear that's in the other one. It's a little yellow, a little cloudy. So we're on the third column for vinegar and magnesium sulfate. So right now I would write that there was a temperature decrease. The crystal dissolved, and maybe a slight yellow color. It's not really much of a color change though. Okay. Now, remember, you're skipping that third column, or that third one, sodium carbonate, because I don't have it, and go straight to that fourth one, which is citric acid. Okay, so let's look at citric acid. So citric acid is kind of like what they put into gummies, like fruit snacks and stuff like that. So, but it smells really good. This kind of looks like it's crystallized. It's white. Looks like sugar also. So it looks very similar to magnesium sulfate. We're going to put water. Okay, and mix. Right now, so it's cold, colder than the water that I put in it. And the crystals are dissolving. Everything looks yellow in this light right here. But it is clear. Okay, so what I would put for water, that second column, it's really cold actually. a temperature decrease, crystals dissolved, no color change. Okay, let's do vinegar. Okay, and let's mix this with vinegar and see what happens. Okay, let's mix. Nothing going on yet. Just mixing. They are dissolving just like the rest of them. It's a slight temperature decrease. It's not cold as the other one yet, but it is getting pretty cold. You can kind of see it's got a yellow color to it. It's very slight. It's not like a big color change. But for the third column, for citric acid and vinegar, I would say temperature decrease. It did get colder. The crystals dissolved, and it's a pale yellow color. It looks very clear though, but it did change a little bit of color to yellow. Okay, so go ahead and answer your questions on below that chart and then turn it in. Bye guys.